Good day, everyone. There's quite a few things that's been on my mind, and as Double O Days, I want to try and unpack this in as short as possible a way. And the thing that bugs me is whether we've actually been taught in school or by our parents or by our peers, or by our grandparents, our uncles and aunts, how to think critically and actually find truth. And I think it's something that society is battling with, and confirmation bias becomes a part of our lives because it's an easy way to see the world through the eyes that have been created for us. And as we grow up, and as I speak of the 5 levels of understanding, the first level of understanding is you believing everything that happened around you, that people tell you, how they bring you up, the things they tell you to believe, what to do, etc. That is just your reality. And somewhere in life, everyone moves to level 2, where you realize that something you've been told by your parents or by a grandparent or by siblings or whatever is just not true. It's not how you see truth. It's not how you've discovered truth because of things that happen to you in your life. And it might be purely by chance. And that chance can be different for numerous people. In someone in a war-torn area, you could be one day living in a very safe environment. Your parents can be telling you things are safe. And the next moment, bombs are falling around you and your reality changes. And you stop believing them. And this changes your world. And this is often where people end up in level 3, which is entering the rabbit hole. And the moment you enter the rabbit hole, I describe this as a long unending pit that you fall down into. You have no harness on, you have no rope to rescue you on you. You fall through this dark hole and you keep on falling indefinitely. You don't know when you're going to hit the bottom. You don't even know if there is a bottom, but you keep on falling. And level 4 I describe as you fall down this hole, you see these glimmers of light on the side of this massive long cavern and tunnel, abyss, whatever you want to call it, that you are falling through, and you start grabbing towards it, desperate to get out of this falling situation that you are in. And I describe level 4 as the moment when you actually grab onto something on the side that pulls you into one of these side tunnels that has a light at the end of it. And going through this side tunnel, level 4 of understanding, this tunnel gets narrower and narrower and narrower as you crawl towards this light. Many people in their lives there. I hope you don't end your life within this falling abyss, which is just wrecked with conspiracy theories, with misinformation, with so many different pieces of information coming from all different angles that you can't decide what things are. Don't see things for what they are. And as you go through this level 4, as you go towards this light, you will start to narrow down the methods and tools you can use to find truth. And when you get to the end of this tunnel, this very narrow tunnel at the end towards that light, and you step out into the light and you reach level 5 understanding, you see things for what they are. And the wide expanse you see in front of you is absolutely your lack of knowledge. And once you get there, you will have peace of knowing that it's okay. That it's okay not to know everything. That it's okay for us to know as little as we actually do. Because while people are falling through that rabbit hole, down that abyss, a lot of people actually find comfort in that fall. They actually enjoy the ride. They actually like the fact that they think they know more than they actually do. And what it does is it brings unwarranted confidence. And one thing that prompted me to actually talk about this is someone that made a comment on a podcast I watched this morning, just a short portion of a podcast, where someone asked a question to the person he was interviewing. He said, if Israel, and this is specific to Israel and Gaza, if Israel knew that Hamas was hiding within Israel, would they still go ahead and bomb the hospitals they were hiding in? Would they still bomb the schools that they were hiding in? Or would they follow a different protocol? And this was an absolutely brilliant question. And the person he was interviewing didn't really know how to answer this question, because what he was putting before this person is that Israel actually believes that Palestinian lives are worth less than Israeli lives. Because if in Israel they would go and bomb the hospitals, bomb the schools the same way that they did in Gaza and speak of collateral damage, then you could say that they value their lives equally. The Israelis, the people in Israel and the people in Gaza. And this is just a common sense argument. And obviously this person was completely stumped. He didn't know what to say. Such a simple thing. And another post that I saw on Facebook, just by chance, because it was at the top of my feed. I don't normally go down my feed. But when I saw this specific graphic or picture that spoke of all the different generations of communications that came into the world, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G and 5G, they were all linked to various outbreaks of so-called disease. And I looked at the comments below this, which I normally don't do, and when I saw this, I actually had to comment, something I wouldn't normally do. And I realized that the starting point that most people have when they start to come forward with an idea is wrong. You need to go to root cause analysis. Know what something is from the foundation before you can start building an argument for it. And based on this post that this person made, it was clear that they didn't understand that 1G was the first generation. Second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation, that these were not frequencies at all. And because I studied radio and TV in school and electronics, I understood the basic concepts of these different generations of communication. And I could actually comment there that before you start looking at conspiracy theories or ideas around frequencies related to disease, and I'm not saying that frequencies don't affect us. You need a strong foundation. You need to know what you are looking at. And you need to know that fifth generation technology is just that, a fifth generation. That it's not a frequency. So if you tie 5G to 5G frequency, your foundation is not only weak, it is false and is built on fake bias. And you don't have a good starting point. If you have your starting point correct, then you can build a proper case for something. But often when people do this and they have to put their biases aside and look at the root cause, look at the base foundation of something, mostly their conspiracy theories fall apart and they don't have the basis to build them from anymore. And this is all got to do with what were we taught to believe? How were we taught to believe it? Did our parents teach us to question things and understand things in such a way that we can build our arguments from base foundation principles? And I have come to realize that most people don't even know that this should exist or that they should do this. That they don't even know how to find a starting point. And for me, being in the nuclear industry, this was a very normal thing for us to do root cause analysis, know what the start is, and then work from there and build a case for something happening so that you can make sure that something bad doesn't happen again, so that you understand the process of it happening very, very well, so that you understand that if there's an accident, there's at least 3 things that need to go wrong. And if you eliminate any of those 3 things, the accident won't happen or something bad won't happen. These are all important tenets that you can use in your daily life to get closer to the truth. And like I said, in 2026, I will start breaking down the tools that you can use, and I will discuss many conspiracy theories out there and why they came into existence, what people are missing, and what should be the base foundation. And I will go through those discussions in a very basic and simple way. And I will explain why something like a chemtrail does not exist, cannot exist, has never existed, and will never exist in the future. And why we should call things what it is. See it for what it is so that we can be properly informed instead of being the people that are not only fooling and bullshitting ourselves, but affecting the people around us. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have watched to this point, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon so you can get notifications for future videos. And please share this with your friends and family after considering liking this clip. Thanks so much. Till the next video.